My dear student, good morning. Let us today we learn about adventure lesson the collectors. Before going to start the lesson, answer the following questions. Look at the picture above. Can you identify the object in it? Have you come across them anywhere? Who uses them? Look at this picture. Is this a picture of a human? If no, what makes you think so? How does this alien differ from humans? Now read the play to find out how aliens try to abduct some humans and what happened to them. The Collectors is one act play about the encounter of a group of teachers and children on an adventure walk in a lonely countryside with two aliens. The aliens have taken the form of human and hence the group takes shelter in the spaceship, mistaking it for a house. It's raining heavily, and Miss Swan wonders whether they could get shelter, but Mr. Hunt replies that they could get a shelter only after reaching the village, which is there miles away. It is at this point that the group sees a house. The strangers of the house is apparent right from the beginning. Mrs. Jones says that it is funny looking. Mr. Hunt remarks that it wasn't there when the had been there the previous summer. However, since the children are wet and cold, they decide to approach the house for shelter. They also think that if it is embarrassing to ask for shelter for so many of them, they would take shelter in the shed. However, they are welcomed by the inmates of the house, Mrs. and Mr. Brown. The grown-ups are taken to the sitting room and they are also offered tea. But after the three teachers and the inmates of the house have gone to the sitting room, the children start feeling uncomfortable. They find the house to be strange as it is terribly quiet and cold and there is no wind at all. They also find everything empty, though the house is not being used at all. The children wonder whether the Browns have put all the things in the cupboard. But when they see the cupboard, they find the cupboard empty. The fridge is not only empty, but it is not switched on also. Even as Dawn and Tracy warn Van and Pete not to snoop around, Carol remarks that she finds the Browns strange. The children come to the conclusion that the Browns are crooks and the house in their hideout. At this point, Mrs. Brown comes back and she finds the cupboard open. She warns the children not to mess around. She also offers the explanation that they are yet to open the packs and put things in their place as they had just removed into the new place. She even offers orange juice to the children and leaves the room, warning and the children once again not to touch the cupboard. However, the suspicion of the children grows. They even notice that she has 7 fingers, each on her 2 hands. They also find her eyes strange as they don't seem to have the pupil. The children feel that it is better for them to leave the place and hence Pete goes to meet the teachers. Vene, meanwhile, grows curious about the second cupboard, though Dawn and Tracy warn Anne not to touch the cupboard. Anne opens the cupboard and the children are surprised to see dials, digital readouts, colored lights, and electronics equipment in the cupboard. At that point, Pete returns and increases the discomfortable to the children by shading with them. is doubt that the teachers were drugged. The reveals that the three teachers had sat motionless and the Browns were communicating with each other in a strange way, hissing and clicking at each other. The children, who are by now more and more uncomfortable, decide to get out of the house. But Anne finds the back door locked and there is no key. The same is true of the window also. They are not able to break it open with Mr. Hunt's stick as the glass is like steel. Even as they decide to look for a way out through the front, Mrs. Brown returns with a tray of drinks. The children confront her directly and ask her what she has done to their teachers. She returns the allegation, but they have drugged the teachers. When the children ask her about the strange things in the cupboard, she tells them that Mr. Brown is a scientist and it is electronic equipment. She gives the explanation that the door and the window are burglar proof. At this point, Tracy blurts out that the children have found the house and the inmates to be strange. Even as Mrs. Brown takes offense, Pete confronts her and asks her to take them to the sitting room. Mrs. Brown, in response, offers to get one of their teachers to where they are. Once again, Tracy and Dawn believe Mrs. Brown and start blaming Pete for unnecessarily scaring them. But Mrs. Brown returns with Mr. Brown instead of, and Mr. Brown orders to the children to drink the juicy. They refuse to do so, promoted by Pete. When Glenn and Vene try to escape, they are flying across the kitchen by Mrs. Brown. The children learn the truth one by one. When the children tell Mr. Brown that they cannot be kidnapped as the police would look for them, Mr. Brown tells them that they are aliens who have taken the human shape and the shelter that looked like a house would be converted to a spaceship when they are ready to take off. He adds the children can't anyway escape, and if they were to drink the juicy, it would lessen the shock of the take of the spaceship. He also lets out the secret that children are collected for the sake of experiments and scientific study. But just then, the presence of mind of Pete saves the children and their teachers. He had seen the equipment being stored in the cupboard and knew that the aliens needed it badly. So he stands at the cupboard with the walking stick held high and threateningly and tells the aliens that if they made any wrong move, he would smash the equipment in the cupboard. He takes the help of Vene in controlling the aliens. He asks Vene to be ready with a chair to destroy everything in the cupboard if the aliens disobey his orders. He makes Mr. Brown lead the teachers to the room where the children are and dominates over Mrs. Brown and learns how to open the back door. Once all except Vene and he have escaped through the back door, he orders the aliens to go out of the other door and closes it behind them. After they go out of the door, he runs out with the Vene and escapes being abducted by the aliens. Thus, Pete has clarity of thought even in a crisis and saves not only himself but also all his friends and teachers. After a while, the group is surprised to realize that it is neither raining nor foggy and the sun is out. The house itself is not there. It is as if they had imagined their encounter with the aliens. There is a difference of opinion about reporting the matter. Some, like Tracy, feel that nobody would believe them. Some, like Mr. Hunt, feel that the matter should be reported, especially since people have disappeared. He feels that there should be a warning. The play comes to an end even as the group continues to argue over the matter.